Alright, welcome back. This will be the, Mucinex voiceover sessions. So this is the night that I'm all stuffed up, and on cold medicine. So yeah, here we are. We're starting off episode 7. I showed you the party selection screen just to show you rather how big it's getting, lots of companions available. And we're heading to do the Bone Pit. It's the only zone we didn't do last time, but we got ambushed.
The danger is past. Are you all right?
No thanks to this lot, can't get a decent blade at a bargain anymore. You, though, you're what a man needs. A skilled enthusiast.
You can start making sense any time now.
My manners. Javaris Tintop, merchant and investor. I need forward thinkers to help court the Kunari.
Court the Kunari? Make her think of the children.
Those hornheads in Kirkwall have a powder that explodes, and it's just dust. No lyrium, no demons. Anyone can use it.
I have heard of this. It's why their ships are so feared.
I doubt they were eager to sell.
That Arishok said I wasn't worthy. That only their outcast, the Talvashath, or that mercenary. I said, great, I'll go talk to them. Didn't go over well. But, made me think. Maybe he'll bargain if I get rid of something that bothers him more than, well, me.
The Talvashath.
The Talvashath. Are you up for some paid hunting?
Your people must have something like that already.
Small things, shaped to crack faults, not shatter the earth. Plus, they're mostly lyrium. Expensive, poisonous. The Chantry controls it topside. The glow makes you a target. Problem after problem.
All right, I'll step in for you. For a price.
I'm done bargain hunting. I want it done right. Now, best I could figure, they're up the Wounded Coast, a whole camp. Take their heads off and meet me at the compound in Kirkwall. Get this right, and we'll be richly rewarded. Richly.
So the game just kind of throws this at you. It doesn't really explain what Talvashath are if you don't know already. I mean, maybe you do from Dragon Age Origins. Talvashath are Kunari who have left the way of the Qun, They're like runaways. And the actual Kunari, will hunt them down and kill them. They don't take that stuff lightly. So yeah, Javaris wants the powder. The Arishok won't negotiate with him, so he's trying to manufacture some kind of leverage. He hires us to hunt down and kill a band of Talvashath, and then he has leverage to bargain with the Arishok for the explosive powder.
Cubit's miners must be a desperate lot to work here.
Okay, where we were initially intending going was the Bone Pit. That was before we got ambushed. And remember, Hubert owns a mine here, and we need to investigate why the workers won't go to work. Some haven't returned. The ones that did refuse to go back. They're all freaked out. So we're here to get to the bottom of this. Alright, some nice cross-class combos there. We've got two, in the mix right now. Disorient, which Varric sets up with Pinning Shot, and which Anders detonates with Stone Fist. And then Stagger, which Zoe sets up with Shield Bash, and Anders also detonates, but with a different spell with Chain Lightning. And fights like there, where I have the luxury of not having to worry about everything going crazy, you see me kind of give a little space, to the status effect when it appears, and let Anders do his thing, because sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. Maybe they're on another part in their tactic script. It hasn't cycled back and triggered yet. You got to remember different things that they do. Even auto attacks cause animation, and the game will take that into effect. If you're in the middle of swirling your staff around and slamming it into the ground for some kind of staff attack, it's not going to let you just instantly cast, Chain Lightning because your tactic says to. So sometimes you have to just wait and let those things happen.
There's the entrance to the mines. Perhaps we'll find the missing workers within. Dragon!
So it wouldn't be Dragon Age without dragons, right? Looks like that is what has, taken up residence in Hubert's mine here, the Bone Pit, Dev. So, again, like the other quests and zones, you can come here sooner than we did, and I think a lot of people usually do, but this isn't easy.
Praise and trusty you came along. Them dragons would have sniffed me out for certain.
Slow down. Tell me what happened here.
I'll tell you what I can, but be a friend and keep your voice down. There's another dragon close by.
Where did the dragons come from?
We was mining a new tunnel when the wall collapsed, and dragons came through. It was a bloody slaughter. Scared out of my wits, I ran like my arse was on fire. It probably was, only I went the wrong way. Ended up trapped here.
Did anyone else manage to escape?
Some of my fellows ran for the surface. I hope they made it.
You should get out of here.
Don't have to tell me twice. You should leave too. But don't go that way. There's this huge dragon.
Ah. I'd wondered if the dragons left their nest unguarded.
So a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor there from the BioWare dialogue, quest writing devs. Don't go that way, there's a huge dragon. Like, you know, what every gamer is going to immediately do. So yeah, the little guys will swarm you, they're not too bad. The bigger dragons have a pretty nasty breath weapon. It's not the Great American Dragon Hunt or anything, Dev, but it's still pretty tough. So let's see what's out here. Alright, a mature dragon. Pretty tough at this point in the game. Just so you know, you have Dragonling, that's the baby. Then you have Dragon. Then you have mature dragon, which we just fought. And then you have a high dragon, I believe. So, you know, just one off the highest ranked dragon in the game thrown at you in Act 1. It's really hard. As you saw, it's a really tight kind of spot to fight it in. You can't move around real easily and keep people out of trouble. The group did great though, and part of why it was pretty easy for us is that I've put it off this long. You know, I didn't come here when we were level 5 just to get, you know, breathed fire on to death. master plan, Demetron. So, good stuff. Let's see what Hubert has to say about it.
I solved your problem.
So, what happened? One of the miners told me you rescued him from dragons. I cuffed him for lying.
Well, he wasn't. Go there and see the corpses for yourself.
But I thought they're extinct. I believe you. You made them extinct again? If it is safe, the miners can return to work.
I got all the dragons. Should be safe enough for now.
Let us discuss your payment. You have been a great help. Since you did so much more than I was expecting, how about we work together? I am offering a 50-50 share in the mine. You will make us both rich if you can keep your countrymen safe.
Why would you share half your business with me?
I spent a decade honing my business instincts in Val Royeaux. I once sold a seat cushion to Empress Selene. Simply put, I have a good feeling about you. So, what do you say?
If you want my help, you'll pay for my services in advance.
You're both tough and shrewd. Very well. I had some money set aside for safety equipment, but it is yours instead. So, to our first order of business. We'll replace the lost workers. I will hire new hands. Plenty of desperate Fereldans out there, but it will take some time. I need you to convince the surviving miners to return. They are holed up in Lowtown. Tell them the Bone Pit is safe again.
I'll see what I can do.
Alright, so Zoe's moving right on up in the world. You know, she's a partner in the Bone Pit mining operation. And we don't know exactly all that entails. But, you know, at the same time, we're working on becoming a partner in Bartrand's Deep Roads expedition, you know? So, little by little, she's establishing herself, in addition to having already, you know, made a reputation as a Red Iron mercenary over the last year. So we're going to walk around Hightown after we sell some stuff here. There's a few just lost item turn-ins, and then we'll be moving on from there. I wanted to start the episode with the big dragon fight, you know, make it fun. The rest is I'll just have to, you know, cue you in as we do it. Some, you know, new things and some tying up some old things.
I think I found something of yours.
You found this? I don't know what to say.
Hey, Franz. You're...
I think you let this get away from you.
You just stumbled on this? Can't say I'm surprised. Bloody fools.
Now the help wanted poster, I think it was actually a bounty offering to return the Viscount's son. So we'll get to that later. The next little turn in, remember the magistrate whose son we killed? Speaking of, you know, politicians' sons.
You dare show your face to me again?
Yeah, he's not too happy. But at the same time, you'd think there would be a lot more repercussion to crossing him, you know. We defied his order and we killed his son.
Did Mistress want silk thread or cotton?
But I mean, oh well, I mean, that's done. Here we go. He was a child molester, you know, elf murderer, so he had to go, Dev. Okay, next we're going to hit up the Black Emporium. Haven't been here in a while, but I finally have enough gold to get another talent potion, and I need to go do that now.
Some Dane fellow asked, why make a shop so hard to find? Me? Really? He just has no concept.
Okay, this is why we're here. The elixir of physical technique. And you notice there's also one of arcane technique. Now, in contrast to the what were they called? Tome of Technique that you saw I got a bonus talent with. I bought it off of Hubert last episode, I believe. In contrast, these elixirs can be drank by anybody, not just Hawke. So say you really wanted another talent on Varric or on you know, Bethany, you could give it to them. Now there's only one. There's only one arcane, which is for a mage, and there's only one physical, which is for a warrior rogue for the whole game. So you got to be sure whoever gets it really needs it. Okay, so Sacrificial Frenzy is what I take with the bonus, and what it does is it costs health. I actually wound myself, but then for the duration of it, it boosts the damage boost from Frenzy, which if you recall, Zoe will do more damage the lower her health gets, up to 50% more. So it's another damage buffing kind of move, and when you stack that with Cleave, and then another one much later, but just Cleave and Sacrificial Frenzy together, it starts to get, you know, really, really crazy damage.
The Chantress.
Hey, it's the one that rescued me from them dragons. A fellow for Eldon, no less. Oh, eyes on her face, you lush.
1,000 thanks for saving Jansen's worthless hide.
Worthless, am I? My farm supplied eggplant to half of the South Reach.
Yeah? My eggplant supplied half the bastards in South Reach.
Oh, you're a real hero. Now what brings you here?
I killed the dragons. It's safe to return to work.
What if there's more dragons later? Or something worse like, bigger dragons?
I go back to the missus without this job. She'll rip me apart sure as any dragon.
What can we do? That bastard Hubert is the only one willing to hire us.
I own half the mine now. I'll keep it safe.
Really? Oh, be nice to work for one of our own. If you don't give us a fair shake, who would? Back to work, boys. I'm happy to take more of Hubert's coin.
I should go up to Hightown, that's what. Lots of loot up there.
Okay, nice level up here from that turn in. Zoe and Bethany. For Zoe, we take Scatter. I'll talk more about that in a sec. Right now, it's more to set up the one in the upper right there. Scatter's a prerequisite for it. As for Bethany, she's going to take the upgraded Crushing Prison, which is called Paralyzing Prison, which does a lot more damage, and it detonates staggered enemies, and I think it has a higher chance to stun or paralyze. Now you'll notice I changed her tactic, because before she just had, you know, enemy attacking Anders or her Crushing Prison. Now it's going to play off the enemy status staggered, but I make it a two-part tactic, a little bit more sophisticated. And the reason is, if you recall, Anders has enemy status staggered cast chain lightning. So what I do is say, use this condition for the next tactic. Enemy staggered, use this condition for the next one, and then enemy rank elite or higher. A couple reasons. A, Crushing Prison is a single target spell. It's not going to do area effect. So if you can get a cross-class combo on a big elite dude, elites are going to be like lieutenants, assassins, or a boss or more. That's where you want it. It's lots of extra damage. And second, you don't want to waste Crushing Prison on just some junk normal level mob that happened to get staggered, in the pool. And also, Anders is probably going to have cast Chain Lightning on that with the way his is set up. And sometimes, that happens. He'll cast Chain Lightning. The staggered status will go away once he's triggered it, or because the thing is dead. And then Bethany will cast hers and it'll be wasted. It won't be wasted, but it won't be a cross-class combo. You see what I mean? So this is a way to kind of separate them out.
Please, Sir Thrask. He won't go to the circle willingly, but it's the only place.
Madam, we'll do our best to find your son, but I cannot guarantee his safety if he continues to resist Templar jurisdiction.
He's just a boy.
He's an apostate. I am sorry for your loss, mistress, but I can offer your son mercy only if he turns himself in.
I'm trying to find him, but...
The Templars cannot tolerate apostates.
Can we help this woman? This could be Mother.
It sounds like your son is in trouble. Is there anything I can do?
You heard all of that and still you would help? An apostate? Oh, thank you. I am Ariane. My boy, Fainriel. He's all I have. All my family. When I learned he had magic, I could not bear to send him to the Circle. But his connection to the Fade, it gives him nightmares, dreams of demons speaking in his mind. I would rather lose him to the Circle than to himself.
What kind of dreams is he having?
He dreams of demons, calling to him, pulling him into their world. Every day, it grows harder to wake him. That is why I turn to the Circle. They are the only ones that can protect a mage from his own powers.
Did your son run away?
He learned I had contacted Sir Thrask. He felt I betrayed his trust. He thinks he can live free of the Circle, but I am afraid without proper training, he'll kill himself.
Those look like Dalish tattoos. Why do you live in the city?
I was born to the Dalish, but came to Kirkwall for a time and dallied with a human merchant, Vincento. When I found I was with child, neither Vincento nor my tribe wished the burden of an elf-blooded human infant. I raised Fainriel myself, here in the alienage.
Tell me the whole story.
I learned years ago that my son likely had magical talent, but we could not bear the thought of him locked in the gallows. So we hid. When the nightmares began, Fainriel still refused to contact the Circle. But I truly think they are the only people who might save his life.
What exactly do you need me to do?
Just find him, please. Bring him somewhere safe. I don't know where Fainriel is gone, but there are 2 places you might start your search. Sir Thrask has been looking for him. If you speak to him in the gallows, he'll be able to tell you what ground he's already covered. And Fainriel's father, Vincento, recently returned from Antiva. He's a merchant in the Lowtown Bazaar. Fainriel might have sought him out.
Tell me about this Templar.
I believe he's a good man. He doesn't hate mages, but sees what it took me too long to realize. Even the best-intentioned mages are at the mercy of their sleeping minds. There are other Templars who are much less sympathetic.
You and Fainriel's father are not married?
Vincento had no desire for a wife or an elf-blooded child. I haven't seen him since the day I told him. I have written, though, to keep him informed about his child. Fainriel wanted to meet him.
I will not leave you fearful for a moment longer than necessary.
Magic can be a fearful gift. Your son deserves the best aid learning how to manage it.
Thank you. It has been a lonely time hiding. It's almost a relief to finally confront this openly.
Busy day, is he? The boys and I are going for drinks later if you'd like to join us. And if I do, see you there.
Okay, we're going to start looking into this quest immediately, but since we're here, we're going to check in on Meryl.
I didn't think you'd come. I'll find something relatively clean for you to sit on. Can I get you something to eat or drink? I have water.
I came here to see you, Meryl. You don't have to fuss over me.
You're so kind. My first guest, and I'm already a terrible host. I wanted to thank you for bringing me here, but I'm making a mess of it.
I'm glad I could help.
I can't say that I like Kirkwall, but I'm glad to be here. I haven't exactly had many friends. Not even among my own clan. This is... tricky.
What made you unpopular with the Dalish?
Being first to the Keeper, I was always a bit secluded. I studied magic and history while the others were learning the Via Tanadal. It's good that I left. I'd have made a terrible Keeper. I was never that good with people.
You seem to be getting the hang of it already.
I'm glad you think so. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hawke. It means a lot to me.
Okay, so Meryl, the last of our companions, she's a, kind of a dork and kind of a sweetheart. We won't play too much with her in Act 1. I think just a couple dialogues and that's it. But we'll get back to her and do a lot more in Act 2 and in Act 3. She really has some of the most, compelling, interesting, difficult companion questline stories out there. So Meryl is definitely cool. It's just we got to her late because I chose to put off going to Sundermount until we did. Okay, so let's talk to Vincento, Fainriel's father, and see what he has to say.
Greetings, my lady. You look like a woman who'd appreciate the finest rubies from Antiva gracing her lovely neck. I bring only the best northern merchandise to the free marches.
Actually, I'm more interested in your son.
My lady, I'm a bachelor. I've never met a woman of sufficient beauty and charm to tie Vincento down.
Please, Sirrah. I know you must fear for Fainriel, but we mean him no harm.
Hard to tell in this city who means who harm, no?
Perhaps you can set his mind at ease.
We are no Templars, Sirrah. You'll find no better friend to a young, scared mage.
Maldición, you are a mage. I suppose you'd be kind then to a boy who resists being taken in by Templars?
Of course.
The boy's in over his head. So I sent him to the only man I know who doesn't despise mages. A former Templar named Samson.
Why would a Templar help him?
His conscience plagues him, having served the Templars too long. He now helps mages on the run. He stays out of sight during the day. At night, he stays near Darktown. That's the best place to find him.
Okay, similar to some other times where the dialogue says one part of town and it's not, this happens again. He says Darktown at night, but it's really Lowtown at night. And this is Samson. We've actually passed him. He just sort of stands in Lowtown at this one spot at night, and never talked to him or anything, but at any rate, he just hangs out. He's an ex-Templar who helps mages on the run, and that's who Fainreal asked for help, so let's see what he knows.
Old Vincento said someone might come sniffing around. You're looking for the boy, right? Feign something. I'll tell you now, there's not much I can do for you.
I'm looking for a retired Templar named Samson.
Retired. Sounds better than burned-out husk of a Templar begging coins in the choke damp. They don't do anything to keep you, you know. You join the Order, you're free to walk away. But they're the only ones who've got the dust.
The dust?
Lyrium, an ore the dwarves mine. Magic in its raw form. You need to drink the stuff to face down the magicers. Problem is, if you ever try to stop, it just about kills you.
Is it true you give aid to apostates fleeing the Templars?
The mages I help, they're no more than children, newly discovered their magic and terrified. Barely left their mother's skirts, and now we're saying they got to be locked away for their own good. That demons are hunting them. Do you wonder they run?
Did you meet the boy?
Afraid so. Blighter was dead broke though, not a silver on him. I helped one mageling for free, and I'll never get paid again.
I pity any mage who is forced to rely on you for protection.
I pointed him to a ship captain I know, Rayner. Sometimes he'll take on runaways. Took another apostate last week, girl I sent him. Might have gone wrong though. I heard rumors he took the both of them captive instead.
Please tell me it's not too late to save him.
Rumor has it, Rayner had the pair of them locked inside a Keys warehouse, somewhere close to dockside. You want to go looking? You might find the lad before he gets ransomed to the Templars. Or worse.
Okay, so off to the docks to try to track down this ship captain. See if he's got Fainreal, and Samson mentioned another mage whom he sent this captain's way. Yeah, and this is a little bit more how I would have liked to done the entire video, like just do a quest line, you know, so you don't lose track of the thread, the line. But given the master plan, the choppiness of Act 1 and 2, and sometimes I can't do it that way. But this one, I was, and I think it turns out nice.
Everyone stay still and try not to make any noise. Now that's just rude. What are they trying to do? Ruin my notes. Watch where you step.
They got something covered.
One.
So a pretty sloppy fight. The game actually said I died right at the last second, and then combat ended, brought me back to life with an injury. I mean, whatever, right? It's just, you know, it's a call you have to make. Do you lead with Varric and get the traps, or you just eat them? And I always try to get them because not only can it, you know, impact the way the fight goes, but it's XP, you know, it's bonus experience. But if I'm on them too long, like you saw there, it ends up getting messy. But yeah, we got through it. I also forgot that I had scatter available. That would have helped get through that assassin a little bit sooner.
Nice work.
Couple stragglers, no bigs. So yeah, a little bit sloppy. And recall, as I'm filming this, I'm, you know, already fighting off this cold. Take Martyr here on Anders. I explain that later. Don't worry about it for now. So my play in this episode and the next is, you know, not perfect. It's a little bit sloppy. And also the game is starting to ramp up. We do some things in this and next episode. Like this one we started with the mature dragon, right? And the next one there's some tough stuff too. So the game is actually getting a little bit harder. So you just have to, you know, deal with it. It can't all be the bee burner perfection every time.
Get a hold of her.
Please, help me. Anyone?
Get the hands! I heard they can't do no spells without hands.
You know nothing of magic.
Someone's left a surprise here for us. We're good to go.
No! This is going badly.
My magic will destroy!
Nicely done. Do that again.
That poor girl. Who do you suppose she was? We should see if there's anything here to identify her.
Okay, you can see there the code, meaning the boy Fainreal was taken to a slaver in the dark town called Danzig, which is kind of funny. You remember the band Danzig? At any rate, and the poor girl mage turned out to be Thrask's daughter. Thrask was the red-haired, goateed Templar. Remember, he was talking to Fainreal's mother, and we could have talked to him or Vincento. We chose to talk to Vincento. So yeah, that's pretty sad. That turns out he had a daughter all along who was a mage, and he was probably trying to, you know, protect her and not send her to the circle, and you know, Now she's dead, so that's tough to take. But we can maybe still save Fainreal. So we're gonna immediately head to Darktown and confront this slaver Danzig, and whip some ass if we have to.
Why, look here, boys. Volunteers. Clap 'em in irons and let's see what the Tevinters will pay for 'em.
I'd make a terrible slave. I talk too much. And I do that.
Nobody threatens me on my ground. Shut this bitch up.
This one will fetch a handsome price.
We won.
Get back! There's got to be something here that shows where he shipped Fainreal. Looks like they took him to some bolt hole in the Wounded Coast.
Okay, so he's been taken to the Wounded Coast. We've started to hear this name. It's another wilderness zone we haven't been to yet. And we have one other thing to do there so far. Remember, the dwarf Javaris hired us to hunt down the Talvashoth so that he could deal with the Kunari. They're out there as well. So as much as I've enjoyed just pursuing one quest at a time, I actually am going to put this off for now because we're not going to the Wounded Coast just yet. In the meantime, we need to head to the Blooming Rose. Remember, we met Knight Captain Cullen of the Templars, and he was questioning one of the recruits who had gone away and come back and then left again, and then he turned into an abomination and all that. So these recruits were last seen at the Blooming Rose, but he couldn't get anywhere there because he's a Templar, So we're going to help him out and question some of the girls.
Do you need something, honey?
You don't work here, do you? With the customers?
You're no prize yourself, sweetheart. Is there something you want?
A couple of Templar recruits went missing. They were last seen here.
You'll have to be more specific. We do a lot of business with the Templars.
We have a lot of missing Templars. If we don't act quickly, we may only find corpses.
Now, no need to get all dramatic on me. Let me look through the books. Wilmot, Karen... Here we go. Wilmot came in here a lot. You sure he had time to be a Templar? The both of them last saw Iduna, the exotic wonder from the east.
That's quite the stage name.
It sounds better than the tramp from Darktown. You should hear what some of the others are called.
Is there anything else you can tell me?
Honey, I could write volumes on the things I know. Unless you want Wilmot's favorite position, I think you have what you need. You didn't hear any of this from me. We clear?
So I don't know if you noticed Mirren standing right there by us. He was in the cutscene as well, the Red Iron contact. He was pretty pissed we didn't finish that job for him. So either he's not that angry or he just didn't want to start a scene in the brothel.
Iduna, right? Do you remember entertaining a Templar named Wilmot a few weeks ago. Or Karen.
Wilmot. Wilmot. That doesn't sound familiar.
Do your clients like this charade? It must get dreadfully tiresome.
Whatever do you mean? Questions are boring. Why don't we have some real fun?
Hawke, go easy on this lovely creature.
You should listen to your friend.
We have to ask her about Karen. What's your problem?
Yes, yes. But certainly there's no harm mixing a little business and pleasure.
As charming and relentless as you are, I'm here to investigate.
Answer one of my questions first. Who told you about little old me?
It was Vivica. She showed me her books.
That wasn't so hard, was it? So, Vivica sold me out, did she? That drab, pathetic little sewer rat. She will be dealt with. Just do one more thing for me. Draw your blade and bring it gently across your throat.
Bethany, stop her.
Let go of my sister. How did you... Oh, shit. Spare me, Messere.
What foul magic was that?
Blood and desire in equal measure. An art I learned from... elsewhere.
Blood magic, then?
Yes, Messere. Please don't kill me.
You're going to answer all my questions. And if there's even a hint of magic...
Tirani put me here. To send biddable Templar recruits to the Sanctuary. Three Spear Alley in the Undercity. I enchanted Wilmot and Karen weeks ago. But after they left these walls, I know not what came of them. Please, let me live. It's not my fault. It was all Tirani's idea.
Tell me about Tirani.
She put me up to this. She said we can recreate the ancient Imperium. That mages can rule again, not serve. She says the Templars cannot hold against us if we stand up and fight.
This base of yours, how many other mages are there? Any other defenses?
People go in and out all the time. Sometimes a handful, sometimes more. There are traps. Magical traps. There's a hidden switch at the front. It turns them off. That's all I know.
You're just too dangerous. You have to die.
No. No!
Okay, I've let her live before. I think it's better just to kill her, although it's pretty harsh, you know. But, you know, we're seeing a Zoe that just isn't afraid to, you know, not leave any loose ends, you know. Screw order and justice and all that. Let's just keep things practical, Dev. Okay, so we're tracking down what happened to these recruits. And this is going to get pretty hairy.
We should go carefully. Who knows what this many blood mages may have summoned to defend themselves.
Watch where you step. We're good to go.
And that fight, that always just makes my top 10, most despised pulls of the game. It's this weird split level bug, and you have to lead to get the trap, and it's just, it's just a mess. You saw it, and you're tight in there, so I can't use my cool abilities, or I'm gonna hit somebody and hurt them. Yeah, I hate that pull. But the rest of the way isn't too bad.
Seems to be unhealthy.
Now that's just rude. What are they trying to do? Ruin my boots? Piece of cake.
How wonderful. More vessels for our experiments.
Where is Karen?
Perhaps the demons will find one of you suitable.
Always the demon thing. Can't you people say no?
I am not some hopeless waif that ran crying to a demon. I sought them out and embraced them.
Why have you taken the recruits?
Demons can inhabit much more than mages and corpses. With assistance, they can control anyone I ask. Any Templar, any noble, any well-meaning meddler.
You do know I cut a path through your abominations, right?
Good, good. The demons like spirit. If a few more Templars fall to the demons, we can seed chaos in their ranks. How many abominations can they discover amongst their own before it drives the Knight Commander crazy?
Tell me where Karen is.
The experiments need so much fuel, you see. So many living vessels are found wanting. Useless vessels can still feed the compost heap, so it's not a complete waste.
Good to know you're barking mad. That makes things easier.
In days of old, the Tevinter Imperium spanned the known world. Demons were their allies, held in check by power and knowledge. With a wave of a hand, I could do more than a Templar can achieve in a lifetime. Yet they command us. Absurd. We should be ruling them. We should rule you all. Kill the vessels only if you must.
Okay, so that was totally my fault there. I had a heal potion and tried to get fancy and use my Devour, life tap heal instead of the potion. Helm of the Fallen, another set piece there. It's cool looking. I put it on. The only other thing I want to mention is, remember right before we did the fight, Taroni said, we should rule you all, and kind of like, the Tevinter magisters of old, where the mages ruled everything. Well, that's exactly what Anders said. He had never heard of any mage wanting to rule anything, remember? So here's an immediate counterexample to Anders' position.
Is it over?
Karen.
Yes, that's my name. Oh, thank the Maker. I thought he had abandoned me.
But is it only Karen? It could be Karen +1. A very nasty +1 at that.
The cage has opened. Thank Andraste.
Any chance you can tell if Karen has an extra passenger?
Well, there's one sure way.
What was that about?
If there was a demon in there, it would have defended itself. Looks like he's clear.
Go ahead and leave, Karen. You've been through enough.
Don't tell the Templars. I don't know what they do to me. Please, I need to go back. Tell them I'm all right. Tell my sister. I must go.
When you talk to Sir Cullen, maybe downplay the blood magic angle. We don't need the Templars cracking down even harder.
So, an example of mages trying to make life hard for the Templars. Kind of a weird quest, but as you can probably glean so far, the game is trying to set up a situation where both Templars and mages are at fault for something, Neither side is perfect, neither side is all right. They both commit atrocities, and, a lot of the tension comes from the fact that Hawke is thrown in the middle of that, plus his sister's a mage, or her sister's a mage.
Blood mages have infiltrated your ranks. They've been implanting your recruits with demons.
Sweet blood of Andraste.
Demons? Did you say something about the recruits and demons?
I didn't want to tell you, Masha. They were horrible. Those mages see the rest of us as ants to be crushed. They won't stop until they've destroyed the Chantry and the Templars forever.
Mages have been systematically abused by the Templars for 1,000 years.
How can you say that after what you've seen? Mages cannot be treated like people. They are not like you and me.
Surely that's a little harsh.
Maybe we shouldn't be arguing with the nice Templar. Smile and nod. Smile and nod.
They are weapons. They have the power to light a city on fire in a fit of pique.
There's fault on both sides. We must find a way to live in peace.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps mages need better education as to why the Chantry functions as it does. Perhaps they would not go against the will of Andraste herself. I will look into it. For now, Karen, unless it is proven you are free of demons, I must strip you of your commission immediately.
No, you can't really think that. Karen's fine. He's safe.
He deserves mercy. What happened wasn't his fault.
Please, sir. I tried to resist. I never took anything they offered. I need this position or my sister can't eat. I've been training for 5 years.
We conducted tests on Karen. He's not possessed. He can stay in the Order.
I hesitate to ask what methods you used that you are so certain. Still, you have done much for us by stopping these blood mages. I will heed your request. If he has shown no sign of demonic possession in 10 years' time, Karen will become eligible for full knighthood.
Thank you, Sirrah. Again. But without a full knighthood, Karen's pay is so small. I do not know if I can reward you as you deserve.
I will handle that, miss. You have done the Order a great service. We will not forget it.
Okay, next we'll talk to Thrask about his daughter. He's right here.
We have found neither hide nor hair of the lad, Fainreal. I can only think he has fallen victim to demons or slavers.
I found this. It was addressed to you. It seems to be from your daughter.
My daughter? Then... you know what she is. How she died. When I traced her to that warehouse, I should have forced her into the circle. My own weakness in the face of her pleas is what destroyed her. It is why I urged Ariane not to give in when Fainreal wished to hide. If only I had been so strong for Olivia.
You have my sympathies. Do not fear the Templars finding out.
Thank you. She is at peace now. I would not wish to see her name smeared while her ashes are still warm.
And don't forget, we still have to go to the Wounded Coast to rescue Fainreal from the slavers. That bit was just letting Thrask know what happened to his daughter.
This is yours, if I'm not mistaken.
You found it? By the void, I didn't think... Thank you.
Ah, welcome, my dear friend, to Sol's shop. My name is Solivitus. Please, take a look around. My apologies in advance. Our shelves are a bit bare at the moment. Actually, if you're interested, I could use a bit of help to remedy that.
How can I help?
It's been too dangerous to leave the city of late, and the substances I require for my creations are, of course, elsewhere. Perhaps you could find them. You'll be compensated for your time, have no fear. I'll also give you first pick of my new creations.
Make up a list of what you need, and I'll keep an eye out for you.
Perfect. A discount on everything in the shop, Sirrah. Thank you, my friend. Only one thing on the list left to find.
I am fortunate.
Okay, this is the Herbalist, and that's the Herbalist task quest I told you about when we picked up the Spider Gland. We turned in a lost item just before that. A lot going on here in the gallows. Good time to stop. We're over an hour.
Welcome back to Souls, my friend.
Hope you're enjoying Dragon Age 2. This is Zoe and Bethany Hawke with Anders and Varric signing off. We'll see you next time.